So, like, how has this year been with all the quarantine and everything for you and your family, and then even like the business?
Yeah, I tell you what, we've been busy this year. It seems like every month has seemed like it's like Christmas orders. So just like too many bats in the queue to even uh, try to take care of, and so I'm getting bats out as fast as I can. But yeah, I think that the effect of the quarantine has made people surf the web more, look at my website more, follow my brand, and uh, people that have wanted a Mitchell bat for a long time, they're buying it this year, and so
Mhm.
I haven't really seen any negativity because of quarantine. It's been very positive.
Well, that's really good to hear. I know for me personally, I've purchased quite a few things just online in general, and then even the
Yeah.
digital bat company stuff. So, like,
Yep.
it's done well for online retailers for sure.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where it's shifting everyone's habits over this
Right.
time, like how they purchase things, how the consumer behaves, and so that's really interesting to hear that is just it's picking up business, and that's good to hear, especially for local businesses and small businesses right now. They need that, and having your online store is really, I'm sure, helping out greatly.
For sure. Yeah, I see those. I see that Nashville Sounds hat in the back.
Oh yeah, right here and right here.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you for that.
I can't stop buying hats. Like that's one of my hobbies through all this is just keep buying hats.
Yep. Same here.
So with the quarantine, we've kind of been in this weird MLB season. So baseball was obviously delayed for like almost half of the regular season, and we've gotten this like abbreviated version, which we're lucky to get, it seems, but at the same time, it just flew by like in a blink of an eye. So what was your like whole reaction to this, and then like what have you thought of this season and kind of moving forward?
Yeah, this season's been crazy. I can kind of back this up to answer your question. Back to winter meetings.
Mhm.
So winter meetings happens every December, and you know what winter meetings are. Most of your listeners probably do. But winter meetings is where everybody kind of gets together. All the teams, all the owners, all the GMs, managers, sometimes players. They get together and they talk and they negotiate the next season. And there was back in December, I swear, there was a interview with Anthony Rizzo on MLB Network, and they were talking about arbitration or salary or something. And the look in his eye, like the look on his face when he was talking, I was like, we're not gonna have a season this year, and I knew it, and but I thought it was going to be about salary. I thought it was going to be like a salary strike.
Right.
Um, Back in the mid '90s, this happened, 94, 95. Like there was a strike, and it crushed me for a long time. It took me 10 years to get back to baseball, the game that I love. It took me 10 years to even watch a game because I was in high school. I was devastated. Michael Jordan was playing baseball, and every little kid was wanting Michael Jordan to go pro, and me and a lot of other people blame the baseball strike on Michael Jordan not playing.
Wow.
So this December winter meetings, I was like, this is weird. We're not going to have a season. And then come spring training, the season is about to start. And at the time, my stepbrother played for in the Angels organization. He's a pitcher. And my parents and I were going to fly to see him play at spring training. And before I could even buy the tickets out there, they canceled spring training. And
Wow.
I was like, this is crazy. And then, they delayed opening day, and they kept kind of teasing it. And I was devastated again, just like in the '90s, when there was no season, there was a baseball strike. I kind of had the same sort of feeling that I did back then. And only 60 games, and postseason was weird with the playoff structure. And even right now, as we're talking,
Hmm.
the Astros are playing. I'm actually surprised, you being in Texas, we're doing this during the Astros game.
Oh, well, so for me, I grew up a Rangers fan. So,
Okay. So you're like, psh, I don't even care.
I mean, like if I have to go for a Texas team, it will be Rangers or Astros, but like the way I
Yeah.
was raised and like all the games growing up was going out to Dallas and
Yep.
Arlington and watching the Rangers play.
But yeah, it's been weird this season, and mostly, the only professional baseball team in Nashville is the Nashville Sounds,
Mhm.
and we go to probably a dozen games. There you go, about a dozen games, and that was canceled. And by now, I would have probably been to probably 6 different MLB stadiums. Just the way my travel schedule was last year, I got to go see a lot of different stadiums, and so it's strange to not have that.
Mhm.
Looking back on this past year, to not have that.
Oh, definitely. Like I go to concerts a lot and see a lot of bands that I love and go to this and that event. Well, all of that is like just completely shifted. Just so it's weird not having. I think only went to maybe 2 concerts this year at the beginning of the
Wow.
year before the shutdown, and
Yep.
and so the rest of this year has just felt so weird. But they've kind of come up with these virtual concerts, which kind of filled that void just a little bit.
Right.
Which I've enjoyed those pretty well, but it's just not the same as like being there. And same thing with baseball,
No.
like not going to the games has got to be such a weird feeling.
Right. And I'm super bummed because the Braves are in the playoffs right now, and them being only 3.5 hours away, I probably would have made my way down there in the stadium, and now they're playing in Arlington, so it's
Mm-hmm.
Arlington, so there's that's not a quick drive up and back or
Right.
down and back.
Well, I've thought about going because that's a hop and a skip away for me,
Yep,
but I'm surprised that they're actually opening it up for people to come watch the games
I
now.
know.
It's like they
Yeah,
finally let you. It's like, could we have done this the whole time, or
I know.
it
It's
makes you
crazy.
wonder.
Yeah, I had tickets to the Indy 500, and they postponed that from May to August. And then a week before the race, they announced that, or a month before the race, they announced that fans are going to be allowed in 25% capacity. And I was like, sweet, I'm going to Indy 500. And then a week before, they canceled all the fans, and so we were just devastated.
Wow. So
But I think it'll bounce back.
yeah, a similar thing happened to me. I was supposed to go to Disneyland with some family, and literally the day before we were supposed to leave was the day that they had closed down back in March. So that
Man,
was just like like the weirdest thing. It's like we were ready to go, and then they're like, "Boom, it's closed." And so it's just like,
yep,
okay, that was our vacation for the year. And now we're stuck at home.
yeah, yeah, it's terrible.
All right. Well, so talking about the season, who do you got for the playoffs and the World Series?
So I would say the Braves, but they somehow lost today to the Dodgers like 1,000-1.
Oh yeah.
Uh, they scored like 15 runs or 11 runs in the first inning, but I would love to see the Braves and Tampa Bay
Oh
in
yeah.
the World Series. I
It's
think the
such a,
whole
such a different matchup.
Oh yeah, I think the Astros situation with them cheating. I just don't want to see them in there, for that. And
Mhm.
I think the Rays are hungry. The Braves are hungry. I think it'll be. I think it'll be if a World Series similar to 2016 when the Cubs and the Indians were both in it, and they had, the Cubs hadn't won in forever. The Indians haven't won since 1940 or something like that, and so I think it's Tampa Bay versus Atlanta would be a blast.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
I'm just sad they're not going to be in Atlanta because I would be there for it, but
Oh yeah.
maybe next year.
And yeah, the Astros, like everybody's kind of rooting against them. Now, if it would have been like the early 2000s Astros, I'd be all over it, with the Killer
Yeah,
Bees and everything. Like that was
Biggio.
my favorite Astros team. And then I've kind of bounced around. Like, I mean, I'll kind of start out as a Rangers fan growing up, going to those games and watching players like Rusty Greer, Rafael Palmeiro,
Yep.
and guys like that,
LNA.
and then kind of transitioned and kind of widened my fan base a little bit to some of the other Texas teams, and then Red Sox and some of those heavy hitters. And lately, like I was kind of on the Yankee train going into playoffs, and most of the year, like I watched the first game back against the Red Sox. That was fun until it got cut off early, and that was
Mm-hmm.
kind of like it's kind of like set the whole tone. It's like this is what we get in 2020. We get half a baseball game, and
Yeah.
it was just so odd. But that's who I had my bets on in the beginning. But then now I'm kind of leaning
Yeah.
towards the Braves going all the way for this one.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. Before the Yankees and Cubs were out, I was dying for a Cubs Yankees matchup.
That would have been fun.
I still can't believe the Marlins beat them, but
Yeah, Marlins came out of nowhere this year and just like hung in there for the longest time. I'm like,
yep.
I have never seen this before, and I think it's been like since 2000 since they've even been in playoffs, and then they were in the World
Right.
Series, and back when they were still just the Florida Marlins. And so that's
Yep.
crazy how long it's been since they've been in the conversation.
Yep.
All right.